The last episode of The Acolyte has dropped on Disney+, so now it's time to review this series as a whole. Much like the prequel Star Wars films, The Acolyte is a messy but fascinating series that dives into the dogma of the Jedi and what will inevitably lead to their destruction as an institution. I was a bit let down by the show being advertised as a Sith story since it's mostly revolved around the Jedi, but by the end I felt a fair amount of time was spent developing the stranger, chimere, whatever his identity may be. I felt that final episode gave good resolution despite a bit of narrative hand-waving. The pacing and editing of the story overall was a bit clunky at times, with episodes that seemed to end mid-scene. Even the structure of where episodes were placed seemed off. For instance, the first flashback episode was the third episode of the series, which I thought was correctly placed after the current plot was well established in those first two episodes. However, the second flashback where we get more of the truth felt wrong as a penultimate episode. I actually thought that episode would be better placed in between episodes 5 and 6, as the reveal in the second flashback was pretty well telegraphed. Despite those criticisms, I felt the finale did a great job of answering what needed to be answered while branching off new threads to be later explored. As I mentioned in a previous video, I loved the wire work and the wushu-inspired choreography, as well as how much thought went into constructing the lightsaber fights. I think the on-set lightsabers looked great at night, but during the day the colors looked a little bit muddled. I think it's cool that we're doing the lightsabers practically, but I do prefer the look of the rotoscoped sabers from the previous films. I thought it was incredibly cool to see a kyber crystal bleed in live action. We've seen Dagan Gera bleed his in the video game Jedi Survivor, but seeing it in live action for the first time was quite wonderful. Overall, I enjoyed this series a lot, despite some minor shortcomings. It managed to give us good touches of every era of Star Wars, while developing a narrative that didn't need to rely much on nostalgia. Although that Yoda puppet made me squeal with joy, since I'm almost certain it was the one used in The Last Jedi. Showrunner Leslie Headland really understood what made Star Wars special, and I can't wait to see what she does with a potential second season. What do you think of The Acolyte? Let me know in the comments, and as always, I've been Barista Bran, and may the Force be with you.